What's good, everybody? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back on the King Ghana channel with another episode of Dear African Americans, and it's the first one that I've made outside of Uganda. And today I want to talk about how booking an Airbnb can ultimately bring you thousands of dollars on the continent of Africa. And yes, this is not a scam video. The reason why I talk about this is because many people are interested in some sort of African tourism that watch this channel. Whether you've been to Africa before, whether you're going again, or looking to repatriate. Many people have questions that have not been answered. And when we go to the continent, if we don't know anybody, we book an Airbnb and we see a nice place and then we stay there. But we are not looking at using the Airbnb owner as a great resource, okay? Now, don't get me wrong. Airbnb owners are not always open, but 95% of them are, okay? And what you have to understand is that Airbnb proves one thing, just like eBay or Amazon sellers do. It proves if a person who rents out that Airbnb, if they're professional or not, okay? They have a 5-star system. People who stay there, they have to go back and, give their comments on the place, if they're clean, if they're professional. And you can tell if a person that is following the rules. And a lot of times on the continent of Africa, that's the hardest problem for Africans in the continent, African Americans coming to the continent. Where is the transparency of professional people? And Airbnb, fortunately enough, Airbnb gives you the ability to say, okay, I can look at this person, for example, Davy Chick's 2-bedroom apartment. This person has 4.84 out of 5 stars. So this person has to be professional and trustworthy, according to Airbnb, because they've done business, and I've stayed there before. These people they know what they're doing, okay? So right off the rip, the first advantage is if you book from a person, you automatically know that this person has a history of some level of transparency, okay? Doesn't mean that they're transparent in everything, but at least based on Airbnb, they're transparent. Versus you talking to somebody, investing online, or some YouTuber, you can't really gauge it, but by an Airbnb owner, you can gauge it, okay? So let's say if I were to go and book this particular Airbnb, the Airbnb owner is going to give me the phone number, okay? They have to. One thing that I can position with the Airbnb owner is, hey, do you mind if I ask you some questions or some of your time about how to get around on the continent of Africa? And one of the things you're going to get is possibly somebody's going to come pick you up from the airport that's also trustworthy. So then you have a trustworthy Airbnb owner, a trustworthy person that is going to tour you in the city. And then obviously these people that own the Airbnb, they're going to want to be as transparent as possible because you're going to recommend them, okay? So you have an advantage there. Also, people who own Airbnbs on the continent of Africa, for African Americans that are coming there for the first time, they're in the business community. They're usually rich, okay? To own property and put it on Airbnb, especially if it's a nice property, it takes a lot of money, takes a lot of investment. So they know contractors, they know people who can do stuff like that, right? They have people that they know. And for us, as the diasporans who are coming back to the continent, we can benefit off of transparent people who they know, right? They're already in the business community. People who own Airbnbs are very educated typically. They have a lot of money. They have other business ventures. So that is the possibility for you to tap into their resources. For example, when I started doing some real estate videos, some of the first people that I asked to do it were those people that I rented Airbnbs before, okay? And they were able to connect me to so many things. If I wanted to do, get a bank account, if I wanted to do, get a house repaired, they had the list of people that they could direct me to. And the next thing I want to say is, Airbnb owners also have lived overseas usually. For example, I want to talk about this particular place that I stayed called the Sunny Restive Place This is Arthur and Cozy's place. Him and his lovely wife. His wife is a pharmacist. I want you to also check his place out. We'll show some photos here. I stayed there in Tawatale. It was magnificent. He was a brother that lived in Canada for 8 years. He then got citizenship there and came back. And he has a really great company that allows people to send money from the Ugandan diaspora back to Uganda. Okay, and the place is immaculate. As you can see, he has a 4.90 rating, and he's a very talented guy, and very smart guy. He gave me a lot of good information, and he's just he's a wonderful friend to have. He was able to introduce me to so many people, and he also understands what it's like leaving Uganda and coming back. Okay, and that's another important thing for African Americans or folks in the diaspora. Here are people who've lived overseas and they've come back and had challenges with the system. Now, obviously, they may have been there, their family may be there, but they have similar situations. The transparency being a problem. They've also probably been scammed. They've also understood that things were much different back in Uganda when they came back. So when you talk to the Airbnb owners and you have questions, they can number one align with you because they understand how it is being a person that lived abroad, and then coming back they understand the challenges. All right, Airbnb owners understand the challenges of getting around here, paying for this, or getting a license for that. They understand it because they've went through all those things. So once they know that they can help you. And also, I want to say this: a lot of times, people that are in a professional community, with people that are like not from the diaspora, one thing I've noticed is they can open up a little bit more with their clients. And the reason why, it's not because you're paying them, it's just because, if someone knows you locally, they may feel that person is, might ask for money or something like that, or, and they may not want to give, they may be a little closed off. But, when I was staying at, let's say, Debbie Chick's place, and we'll put her photos there, it's a beautiful place. It's probably one of the better Airbnbs I've stayed at. I stayed there, and her host is Rachel. She was, she understood that, like, hey, I'll just have these questions, and is able to help me. She actually came and, as an owner, came and met me, so did Arthur, which is not typical. So sometimes owners will come and meet you, if they're in the vicinity. And, so I just want to say that, it was, these things that Airbnb owners have, you're already paying for it. If you really appreciate the information they give you, you can give them a tip. You can tell people to book with them. So this is the advantages that I see that the diaspora is missing. When you go to the continent, you just book the Airbnb, but you're not really relying on your Airbnb owner, who has probably lived overseas, who probably understands the challenges, who has been through what you've been through and trying to, do a business or come around. And they're the people that can, really be your first steps into the country, and they can give you those connections that can turn into money. And I can tell you that my connections with Arthur eventually turned into money, right? It turned into everything. So, and I'm grateful for him. I want to promote these Airbnbs. If you're in Uganda, if you ever visit, please check out the Sunny Restive Place, space. It's beautiful, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and also check out Debbie's Chick 2-bedroom. It's beautiful, right? Very, very good. We did a video there. I've lost the video, but it's so updated. It's so great. It's so pretty, and you will really love it. It's a very, very beautiful place. Very good furniture, everything. You will not be disappointed in staying there. So I really appreciate you, brothers and sisters. Thank you for supporting the channel. Subscribe, hit the bell. And always remember, it's King Ganda forever. I'm out.